Hello everybody. Today is Memorial Day. Market was closed. It's May 27th, 2024, and I'm just gonna look at some charts that from some names that I've been either I'm keeping an eye on, and at the end of the video I think I'm gonna mention a couple of entries that I made last week, and these are options that I bought that are expiring in June, so I'll mention them later. Just for context, I am a day trader and swing trader. I base my trades on the 1 day chart, and then I move back in time, I guess, or time frames to the 1 minute. This is just how I like to trade, and if you see any utility on this, that's great. This is not financial advice. I suggest you do your own research and make your own decisions when it comes down to getting to any positions, whether if it's a long position or a short position. Take this as maybe some sort of guide, but it's not advice in any way. This is basically how I like to trade and how I see things, and I'm just sharing it with everybody, and if you get any utility out of it, that is great. If you have any suggestions, also feel free to mention something. Let's start. So today what I'm going to do is AMD, Enphase, and then I have Robinhood, Lyft, Meta, Netflix, and Palantir. I think at the end I'm going to mention a few names really quick, but other than that, that's what I'm going to dive into. So we have AMD on the daily chart. I really like the fact that this level right here at 161 is becoming pretty crucial and pretty stubborn. So I think that we, considering how the MACD and the TSI are behaving, also the RSI, I believe that there is a good opportunity for the price action to continue going towards 180. I think there is room for that. Also, if we zoom in, we can see the EMAs, the 9 and the 20 and the SMA 35. This candles is still on top of it, and I like seeing that. So I'm gonna keep an eye on AMD. It was 3.7% on Friday, and the day before also had a minus 3%. So it's kind of even on where we see things. There is room for this. Just keep an eye on this right now. Keep an eye on support level 161.2. Give or take, and that could determine by tomorrow what we're going to see moving forward, at least for the short term. Now what I'm gonna look is Enphase, and I actually regret not getting on Enphase on Friday. I did a video that I couldn't publish on Thursday. I don't know what I did with OBS, and things didn't work out. Anyways, but I was mentioning that this was good, that breaking this level right here at 122 would be a great indication. And another thing that I was looking at is the SMA 35. So you can see the price action moving this way very nicely, and also you can see the EMAs crossing the SMA 35 as well, which in my eyes is a good indication. You also have a pretty flat MACD and TSI, same with the RSI, and now we are seeing them catching some momentum. Volume is not bad, so I think this is going to continue. I believe that if we see this move, then maybe it keeps going up tomorrow and then retest, goes up, that would be great. But it could also just keep going up, at least to some sort of resistance level that we might be able to find in this area. So maybe we can look into older candles and see where the price was a little bit stubborn, and it looks like maybe 131 could be a decent area to start thinking about a resistance level, and that could turn into another support. But for now, just keep an eye on how this stock is gonna move. I really like how it looks. I might actually jump into it tomorrow with some June or July calls, and just keep seeing this momentum, and you have all this almost like stairs going up. The same on this area. So I really like how the candles are looking. I really like how the chart looks. And again, my way of trading, I just look at levels. I look at these few indicators here, and I keep it as simple as I can possibly keep it, and it works out for me. So this is my theory, at least for Enphase right now. I think that probably 130, that area 131, is a good I guess resistance level that we can start thinking within the next few days. But for now, just let's wait for price to mount this level, either retest it or keep going, and then you can make a decision, I guess. What else is next? I have Robinhood. I really like this one. It is playing just, again, I made a video on Thursday and I couldn't publish it because whatever, and I was drawing this, but what I did post this picture in how you call it, in X. I don't know, if we go here, you can go here to my profile, and this is what I was saying as well. So I really like this. I like the move that actually broke 1917, which was a resistance on my view, went up, then retest this level, and now we're starting to move up. I think we had 6.6%, pretty solid. And MACD doesn't look too extended. The same with TSI, and RSI looks pretty healthy. So we might see this continuation tomorrow. Yeah, I really like what I'm seeing here. So I might take a couple of calls for the week. This might be some short-term calls, but it's actually small short week. So I don't know. I'll take a look, but I think I'm gonna jump into Hood if this continues. We'll see how pre-market looks. Next I have Lyft, and I was looking into, where's Lyft? Right here. I was looking into this, and there might be a short opportunity here to buy some puts and see how this plays out. But it has this pretty strong support level at 1571 that you cannot actually see that right here. It bounced back, but it's not doing the same on this move. Now we're also under the SMA 35. The EMAs are looking negative as well. These guys are already under the zero line, so, and they don't look good at all. Over here you have an area that doesn't have any liquidity, and this is due to earnings, and then you had a jump after earnings, and then price just kept going up. So this was back in February. Then you had earnings here, which were pretty flat, and now you're coming down, and I see this gap that is maybe due to get filled. So I actually think that there is a good opportunity here for puts. I just want to see this actually getting into this area, and then I would see the opportunity for a short position. I really don't have any expectations for this to keep going down or up. In reality, I really don't think it's gonna mount this level, at least not in the next few days. So it is worth just keeping an eye and see if price action actually dives into this liquidity gap, and there is definitely an opportunity there. Netflix, actually no, Meta. I mentioned Meta quite a few times in our videos, and I was saying that, first off, I think I mentioned Meta somewhere around here when it was already mounting this 452 level. And then what I was saying is, and we can now start thinking about 485, I'm sorry. And what I like about Meta is that the price action keeps going and bouncing on the SMA 35, and there is a small range here that started probably, let's say, on May 7th. Right now, 20 days later, 20 calendar days later, we're here. I think we have to keep an eye. I wouldn't get into any positions. I mean, if you really want to risk it, considering that it would probably keep bouncing from the SMA 35, but I'm not gonna get anything until we actually mount this level right here. There was a gap right here. There was an earnings gap, and it's been closing that gap now for a while, probably almost almost a month, and so here we are. I do think that we're gonna hit this resistance level, and that is what is gonna determine if this is gonna bounce back into the 452 area, or if it's actually gonna mount it, retest it, or mount it and just keep going up. So that is what I'm looking at right now. I am not planning to get any positions on Meta yet, but maybe by end of or by the beginning of next week, we might actually have more clarity on how this is going to behave. But so far, it looks good. I just don't want to risk getting into this before breaking this resistance level that we have here. Netflix is next. I love this. I did mention Netflix also when these two indicators, the MACD and the TSA, were crossing simultaneously, which in the way I trade it has worked out for me plenty of times. So I was mentioning this here, and what I said is this right here, mounting this 578 level, is actually really good. I didn't get any calls or I didn't have any positions, but my thesis on this was if you're over here, it is a good way or a good time to buy some longs or calls or whatever you want to do, and then just keep going, and it's probably going to keep going up to this one level, 605. Well, it went to 605 and then it kept going, broke this level, and then it kind of ranged and bounced on this 665, and now it's moving up again to this next level, which is 635. Well, what a great move, really. And then now it's testing this, and I think it's going to keep going up. What we see next is probably all-time highs, which are at 700. So, and which I also mentioned on a different on a past video, that this name actually has room to go to 700, 690 for sure, but right now we are at 646, so you really have a lot of room for this. I think that this Netflix is going to keep moving up, and I would just keep an eye on MACD, TSI, making sure that if you're going to get in, you're not overbought, and maybe buy on an area where indicators are catching up a little bit. But this definitely has room. In the next few weeks, we can see more moves into this bullish trend. So I really like this pretty much, but just be cautious. I also, it looks like when you look at the chart, it's like, okay, it might need a little breather here, but definitely I have a bullish bias on Netflix right now. It looks pretty nice. What else do I have next? Palantir. If you actually take a look at the 2077 level, has tested this once, twice, and 3 times. This right here was a nice rebound. This right here, you had earnings, then it dumped the next day, and now we're here again at 2070 or 77, and now it tried to go up, didn't break the SMA 35, and now we're down at the same level. I really think if there is no momentum on the way up, this magnet right here, which is a low liquidity area, is probably what is going to come to Palantir. These indicators right here are flat, so really any move with a little bit of volume would actually trigger this either going down dramatically or actually going up. But considering the behavior of this, how this is bouncing and losing momentum and volume, I have actually more of bearish sentiment on this. So I think I'm gonna keep an eye on this, and if we break towards this, probably buy some puts at 1980 and then just let this play. And this is actually a VRAP, an anchor VRAP. I don't want it. It's gonna be confusing. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wait and see if this bounces back. That'll be great. I'm probably gonna start putting a position or getting more bullish if we break SMA 35. But for now, I'm more bearish. I think if we break 2077 with momentum and then we get tonight to the 1970 area, the opportunity for a short is more obvious to me. And that is what I have as far as what I wanted to cover today. I just want to share a couple of positions that I got last week. So I bought Celsius Holdings, and I'm not sure how this is gonna play out. I did buy some puts here, but the next day went actually up almost 4%. My puts is still pretty good, but what I was looking at was how this pretty much rejection of this area was playing versus also the RSI, the TSI, and the MACD were behaving. I think I probably bought a little bit too soon. I should have waited a little bit more, but I still have a month in these puts, so I'm gonna wait until tomorrow or maybe Wednesday and see how these behave, and if I have to cut a loss, I will. But I will still keep an eye on this because this is turning into a pretty stubborn resistance level, and I also see that there is room to go at least to 85. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on that. Now I bought Carvana, and I think I made a video about Carvana or mentioning Carvana as one of the names that I was looking at, and I did buy an option. Well, not an option. I did buy a few contracts, a few puts right here, and it played out because it got into the price gap, and I do believe that this is going to continue going. So these puts are definitely paying well, and I'm very happy with them. These are June puts, so I'm just going to keep an eye on them and see how they are behaving. Now I didn't do by Enphase, and I do have calls on Shopify. These are, I believe they are July calls, so I have some time. So we'll see how these behave, but I definitely see either a rebound here or a move on the way up. This gap right here is pretty big, and I also see that the MACD and the TSI are starting to move up a little bit, and this was a little bit oversold, but I definitely have to keep an eye on this. And if I have to cut losses, I will cut them next week. I wouldn't wait for a few more weeks and see how the price works or not. I can just cut the loss and reposition again, but I still like how Shopify looks. I think there is going to be a rebound on the way back up. And well, let's mention Tesla. Tesla is still right here on this level 177. I think that is crucial, and it's one of those I think stocks that are pretty hard to predict at this point. So I'm just gonna leave it there. But Tesla had a pretty decent day on Friday, and considering that the day before was down also 3.5%, and the next day was 3.17%. So it's a roller coaster with Tesla. I'm just gonna keep an eye on this level, and again, I feel it's like a 50. It's a coin toss at this point. It's a 50-50. Breaking up, you can go to 93, and going down, you have 63, and then it can get pretty nasty. So we'll see what happens. Well, that's all I have today for you guys. I will post this on Twitter. Subscribe to this account if you want, or follow this account. It'll be great if you show your support, and I put charts all the time here, so and a lot of details on my thought process. So if you want to read, or if you have some time to take a look at them, that'd be great. Okay friends, that's all I have for today, and I will post another video tomorrow. Thank you.